Welcome to Charts Today. My name is David Linton, and today's edition for Tuesday, the 30th of November, comes to you from Milano in Italy. I'm here speaking at the NLIT conference, which starts today, and I'm speaking tomorrow. So we start by looking, and in fact I've got the COVID cases just up this morning. These are the new cases, seeing that they're coming down in Austria, so that's good news, and slowing in the Netherlands. Germany has passed the UK, which is this green line, rising in France, and Italy is quite low by comparison, so that provides some comfort while I'm here. Looking, first of all, I'm looking at the S&P future, and we're seeing here that we are testing the low that we saw on Friday, so that's significant. We've got new downside targets, and of course if we break below that low, we activate that thrust target that will have been generated from that fall away on Friday. This is my weekly, my daily, and my 60-minute chart, my long-term, medium, and short-term view of the market. Taking a quick look at the dollar is down about 0.5% this morning, so it has been weaker this last few days, but still looking strong in the medium and long-term charts. The sterling chart sitting at 133.30, fairly static the last few days, really moving in lockstep with the dollar. And against the euro, sterling has fallen back, sitting at 117. So we've seen that fall back, but the general trend is still one that's higher. But on the short-term chart, we are lower. Taking a look at Bitcoin, we're sitting at $56,500. Still just struggling, but bullish on all three time frames, just struggling to push to new highs. Ethereum actually looking better on the chart. S&P 500 index was up yesterday, recovered about half of Friday's move, and the futures are suggesting we're going to open lower again today. So markets are a bit spooked by this new COVID variant, and that is just one thing that we're going to have to watch as prices move over the next day or two. The S&P 500 future is down 0.85%, as we mentioned. The the Nasdaq down 0.4%, not faring as badly as the S&P, and the VIX volatility still sitting relatively high in the 20s. So the fear index just indicates that markets are still fearful. FTSE future down over 1% this morning. The comments from the chief exec of Moderna not really helping, and we're seeing the DAX down 1%, the CAC Garant down 1.3%. Tokyo was down 1.2%, and the Hang Seng has really been falling, making new lows down 1.5%. So back to 12-month lows on the Hang Seng, so that's not looking good. The Indian market was relatively flat. We've just been pausing really. So this is the Shanghai Composite is relatively flat. The Sensex in India was up 0.4%. So it's still looking bearish over the short term, but the long term is still looking pretty good. And we're going to get a new target off this thrust as well. The Aussie market was up 0.2%. We'll look at the energy mix in a minute. Soft commodities are weaker as well. Wheat's down 1.4%. Corn down 0.6%. Gold still struggling to break this $1,800 mark, so that's quite key there. Palladium actually had a good day yesterday, but just still bearish on all three time frames. And if we look at US 10-year yields, sitting at 1.46%, they've pulled right back. The spectre of interest rates not as much on the cards as it was. We still have this upside target. We'd need to move below that level of about 145 to actually activate that. We're close to it, obviously. 144 would do it, so it'd be interesting to see if we break below that low. Taking a look now at the energy mix, it's a tale of two stories this morning, really. Here was the big move on Friday. Today's candle, we've been lower. We've actually gone lower. This is a bit like a descending triangle pattern. We've got downside targets here, 66.90, 67.90 on Brent Crude. So really looking quite bearish now. And will we find cloud support? This is the big question. But that's such a catastrophic fall on Friday. It's hard to see how we come back from that. So we are turning more and more bearish on oil. WTI similarly, the target's not quite as clear, and not quite as clear a breach, but it is still below the levels that we closed at on Friday. US nat gas fell away heavily yesterday, falling. Actually, the price is just going through the cloud, falling back through that 5% level. That target of 466 was given and met. We've got some quite big downside targets now, so it's not looking good for gas. Coal sitting at 107, it fell back quite heavily yesterday, and we are just seeing here, this potential move below the cloud. And emissions actually just nudging that 75 euro mark again. Can't quite get there, but the target suggests we have, and we put a call out to clients earlier this morning, of course. MBP, we're still waiting for a price to come in this morning. I'm a little bit earlier in Italy, obviously, and we're seeing that is likely a break higher. And if TTF's anything to go by, we will break higher there as well. Don't forget to play with these target levels on your charts. Notice how 98.10 was met this morning. 110 is the next one, so that's 100.1, I should say. So that's the next level. Looking at German power, we're sitting at 140 this morning, looking stronger here, up over 1%. Waiting for targets. Keep an eye on your OTC data. There is one here at 143, so that's looking stronger as well. And if we look at the quarterly on Nordic power, we're looking stronger there as well. That's it for today. Until tomorrow from Italy, happy charting. See you then.